Hey everybody, welcome back to the Purple 8 Society YouTube channel, my mini university to help us transition to more fourth dimensional thinking. We've got great videos. I've got tarot and symbol breakdowns. I've got long form content on higher ways of looking at our common everyday situations, spirit relationships, what have you. I've got great playlists on music playlists and audiobooks and lectures. I've got a playlist on demystifying the tarot. We just got through examining the knights in the tarot card and those symbols. And this video is another episode in my series on Real Talk with AI, where I share and unveil some of my most profound conversations with ChatGPT. And if you stay till the end, I'll tell you a little bit more about my Inner Forward Mystery School. It's $7 a month. It gives you all kinds of great information. It's just a fun mystery. It's just such a fun place to be. We're breaking down the tarot, and we're looking at how the tarot and the symbols within the tarot can be seen in pop culture, in our relationships, in entertainment, in politics, so many different ways of looking at it. And I'll tell you more about that. Y'all, I think y'all will really enjoy the mystery school. I'll be talking all kind of shit over there, just so y'all know. Okay, so today's video, I wanted to talk about relationships because I feel that, there's still a lot of argument and conversation, going on between men and women in modern day society. Now, I care mainly, well, no, let me not say that. I'll save that for the mystery school. But I wanted to go into something, as you know, the Purple A Society is about raising our consciousness to more fourth dimensional thinking. And so I wanted to have a higher level conversation with ChatGPT on relationships. And so here's my question. I asked it, two questions, or I gave it two, prompts. I said, I want to begin this conversation again for research purposes. What are some differences in how men and women view love and relationships? Let's include psychology, neuroscience, esoteric views, and ancient mythology to break it down to something men and women can both use, something higher and deeper than peanut gallery social ideas. And my AI Pookie says, I like the framing of your question because it invites us to separate three different things that often get mixed together. What biology appears to predispose us towards, number one. Number two, what culture teaches us. And number three, what myths and spiritual traditions suggest about masculine and feminine principles. Those aren't the same thing. A useful model recognizes all three without assuming any one of them tells the whole story. Level one, evolutionary psychology. Different adaptive patterns or different adaptive problems. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, men and women evolved under many of the same pressures, but also faced some different reproductive challenges. Very broadly, men often evolve to ask, is she interested? Can I protect and provide? Am I respected? Is this child likely mine? How do I become worthy? Women often evolve to ask, is he trustworthy? Will he stay? Can he protect children? Is he emotionally reliable? Is this a safe investment? These are statistical tendencies, not rules. One implication is that conflict in relationships sometimes comes from partners trying to answer different underlying questions without realizing it. That's big. That's really the crux of why I asked this question, because as we know, men and women see the world differently, but we need to know what the motivations are and the psychology and the cognition behind why women look at love this way and why men look at love that way, and see if we can find some even ground. Okay, level two, neuroscience, different wiring, same goal. Love recruits many of the same brain system in both sexes. Key players include dopamine, which is motivation, pursuit, and excitement, oxytocin, which is bonding and trust, vasopressin, which is attachment, especially studied in pair bonding, and serotonin, which is mood regulation. Then you have endogenous opioids, which is comfort and security. The biggest differences tend to be averages rather than absolutes. Some studies, I'm going to say that again, y'all. The biggest differences tend to be averages rather than absolutes. So stop telling everybody what their role is, okay? Some studies suggest women on average integrate emotional and verbal processing more readily, Notice relational changes early and remember emotionally significant events in more detail because we have to protect ourselves. You understand? Some studies suggest men on average are more likely to express attachment through action, respond strongly to feeling competent or appreciated, and may have fewer emotionally intimate friendships, making romantic partners especially important sources of support. There is wide overlap, and individual personality often matters more than sex. Level 3, attachment psychology. Attachment research may explain relationship patterns better than sex alone. Common attachment styles include secure, comfortable, hold on, because of how it words it, it's kind of choppy. Common attachment styles include secure, which is being comfortable with closeness and independence, anxious, which seeks reassurance and fears abandonment, avoidant, which values independent and may pull away from vulnerability, and disorganized, which fluctuates between seeking and fearing intimacy. People with different attachment styles can misunderstand each other regardless of whether they are men or women. Level 4, Jungian psychology. Carl Jung proposed that every person carries both masculine and feminine psychological potentials. He described animus as the inner masculine within women and the anima, which is the inner feminine within men. These are not simply about gender. They symbolize ways of relating to the world. The mature masculine often emphasizes direction, discernment, protection, and purpose. The mature feminine often emphasizes relationship, creativity, intuition, and nurturing. Psychological growth involves integrating both rather than identifying with only one. Level 5, mythology. Across many cultures, myths portray masculine and feminine forces as complementary. Some reoccurring symbolic themes include sky and earth, sun and moon, which I talked about in my video that I just did on the nights in the tarot, river and shore, seed and soil, and mountain and valley. These symbols generally point to different functions working together rather than one being superior. For example, in ancient Egyptian tradition, Isis often represents wisdom, restoration, and magical creativity, whereas Osiris represents order, kingship, and renewal. Their story is about cooperation, loss, restoration, and generativity more than romance alone. In many Greek myths, Eros symbolizes depth and Psyche symbolizes the soul. Their union suggests that desire matures into enduring love through trials and transformation. Level 6, esoteric traditions. Many esoteric traditions distinguish between masculine and feminine principles rather than between men and women. Examples include activity and receptivity, structure and flow, will and imagination, and focus and openness. These principles are understood as existing within every person. Some schools describe spiritual development as learning to balance these complementary qualities instead of identifying exclusively with one. This perspective can be found with important differences in traditions such as Taoist philosophy, Hermetic writings, some schools of Tantra, Kabbalistic symbolism, and Jungian psychology. Level 7, love is transformation. Many myths imply that love is not just about finding the right person, but about becoming the kind of person capable of sustaining love. The pattern often looks like this: infatuation, testing, conflict, sacrifice, transformation, and deeper union. This sequence appears in myths from many cultures and is echoed in modern relationship research, where navigating conflict constructively predicts long-term relationship quality more strongly than avoiding conflict altogether. Practical insights for men. Many men benefit from remembering that emotional presence is not weakness. Curiosity often strengthens connection more than problem solving alone. Consistent kindness builds trust, and expressing appreciation and vulnerability can deepen intimacy. Practical insights for women. Many women benefit from remembering that appreciation can be as important as criticism is memorable. Allowing room for different communication styles. Let me read that first one again. Appreciation can be as important as criticizing is memorable. Allowing room for different communication styles can reduce unnecessary conflict. Emotional honesty paired with respect often strengthens difficult conversations, and maintaining a strong individual identity supports healthy partnership. a shared perspective. One recurring theme across psychology, neuroscience, and many mythic traditions is that enduring love involves two people helping one another grow rather than trying to complete one another. The biological systems of attachment makes closeness possible. Psychological development shapes how we relate. Myths give us symbolic maps for making meaning of that journey. Whether one interprets esoteric traditions literally or metaphorically, they often point toward the same practical lesson. A resilient relationship depends on balancing strength with compassion, autonomy with connection, and commitment with continual growth. Then the next prompt I gave ChatGPT was, and based on these answers, for people who desire love from this angle, what are the ways that men and women can vet each other for qualities that align therein? And the reason I asked that question is so that men and women can stop trying to blame the other sex, like the entire other sex, for the fact that they can't seem to find the right one person. We don't need to dictate to the entire opposite sex in our search for one, or in our frustration with the fact that we struggle to find the one because we're only looking for one. We don't need to address 40 million people, 22 million women, black women, or the 18 million black men in order to find the one. We can pull out of that and stop that judgment and that attack because it's unnecessary and it's irrational. Okay? So again, the question is, and based on these answers, for people who desire love from this angle, what are the ways that men and women can vet each other for qualities that align therein? This is, in my view, one of the most valuable questions someone can ask. If we combine psychology, neuroscience, mythology, and symbolic traditions, the goal of dating shifts from finding someone who gives you butterflies to recognizing someone whose character and values makes enduring love possible. Many traditions, from modern attachment research to ancient myths, suggest that the first stage of love is often not the most reliable guide. The task is learning to distinguish chemistry from compatibility and potential from proven character. The first principle, don't vet for perfection, vet for trajectory. A person's current state matters, but so does the direction they're moving. Ask, do they become more honest under pressure or less? Do they grow after mistakes? Are they curious about themselves? Can they apologize without collapsing into shame or defensiveness? Growth predicts more than polish. What a woman might look for in a man. Across psychology and mythology, a mature masculine often embodies grounded strength rather than dominance. Does he create safety rather than fear? Safety is not just physical. Does he make you feel emotionally safe to disagree? Does he punish honesty? Can you bring difficult topics without walking on eggshells? Neuroscience tells us that when people consistently feel threatened, the brain shifts towards defense rather than connection. Healthy love requires enough safety for openness. Number 2, can he regulate himself? Everyone experiences anger, grief, and disappointment. The question is, does he own his emotions or do his emotions own him? In many traditions, this is the difference between the warrior and the tyrant. The warrior and the tyrant. Number 3, is his purpose bigger than his ego? Many myths depict the mature masculine as serving something beyond personal status. Ask, does he keep promises to himself? Does he contribute to something meaningful? And can he delay gratification? Purpose often stabilizes relationships because it provides direction. Number 4, does he admire women? Not idealize, not resent. Admire, also not sexualize all the time, like see as sexual objects. Admire. Pay attention to how he talks about former partners, his mother or caregivers, women colleagues, or women who disagree with him. Patterns matter more than isolated comments. Number 5, can he receive influence? Research by relationship scientist John Gottman suggests that successful long-term couples often include men who are willing to be influenced by their partners rather than insisting on always being right. What a man might look for in a woman. Across many symbolic traditions, the mature feminine creates life, connection, and resilience. Number 1, does she bring peace? Not because she avoids conflict, because she can move through conflict without making every disagreement into a battle. Ladies, y'all hear that? Men, did y'all hear that? Number 2, does she respect herself? Confidence and self-respect often create healthier relationships than seeking constant reassurance. Ask, does she have healthy boundaries? Does she honor her own commitments? And does she expect others to rescue her from every difficulty? Number 3, is she emotionally honest? Can she say, I'm hurt, instead of, you're a terrible person? Those are very different conversations. Number 4, does she celebrate your growth? A secure partner is often genuinely pleased by your successes rather than threatened by them. Number 5, is she nurturing without becoming controlling? Care becomes unhealthy when it turns into managing another adult's every decision. Healthy nurturing supports autonomy. What both should vet for. These qualities appear repeatedly in research and in stories of enduring partnership. Humility. Can they say, I was wrong? Without that, growth is difficult. Curiosity. Do they ask thoughtful questions? Curiosity often predicts openness and adaptability. Integrity. Do their actions match their words? Trust grows when promises and behavior align. Repair. Conflict is inevitable. Again, conflict is inevitable. Again, conflict is inevitable. What matters is whether they can repair after conflict through listening, accountability, and renewed connection. Not you telling someone else to listen and be accountable, but can you, whoever I'm talking to, I'm talking to myself as well, can I listen, be accountable? And, can we get through this conflict with renewed connection? Playfulness. Long-term couples often retain humor. Shared laughter can reduce stress and strengthen bonds. The mythological lens. Many myths describe love as a series of tests. In stories such as that of Psyche and Eros, or Odysseus and Penelope, love is sustained through patience, trust, perseverance, and mutual transformation rather than constant ease. The symbolic lesson is that enduring relationships are built through character revealed over time. An esoteric perspective. Many esoteric traditions suggest that relationships act as mirrors. A partner can reveal unresolved fears, hidden strengths, habits, and aspirations. From this perspective, an important question is not only, is this person my ideal partner, but also, what qualities does this relationship invite me to cultivate? That doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior. Rather, it emphasizes that healthy relationships can become places of mutual refinement. A practical vetting framework. If I were creating a framework for someone seeking a lifelong, growth-oriented relationship, I would look for these 10 qualities in both people. Number 1, emotional regulation. Can they calm themselves instead of escalating? Number 2, integrity. Do actions consistently match words? Number 3, accountability. Can they own mistakes without excessive defensiveness? Number 4, respect. Do they treat others with dignity, including those who can't benefit them? Number 5, curiosity. Are they genuinely interested in learning and understanding? Number 6, purpose. Are they building a meaningful life independent of the relationship? Number 7, kindness, especially under stress. Number 8, reciprocity. Is there a healthy balance of giving and receiving? Number 9, growth mindset. Do they see themselves as capable of change? And number 10, do they make life richer through gratitude, play, and shared meaning? For someone like you who enjoys math, symbolism, and psychology, I would add one more quality: shared reverence. That doesn't require identical beliefs. It means both people feel that love is more than a transaction, that it is something worthy of care, discipline, wonder, and continual cultivation. Relationships built on that shared orientation often have a stronger foundation than those built on attraction alone. That was so good. I just love that. That was really, really good. It didn't feel like, a conversation that mature men and women would be having. It doesn't sound like this. It just doesn't sound like the red pill and the pick me and the I hate men thing. It's just something that feels more integrative and uniting and warm and conscious and rational and intelligent to me. It sounds more loving and more fourth dimensional and spiritual to me. I really love that. And so, again, I told you that I would tell you guys a little bit more about my $7 a month mystery school over on Substack. It's called the Inner Forward Mystery School. And for those who are new to my channel, I have been doing I've been a tarot practitioner for over 13 years. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of readings. I've done, since 2020, I've done a reading every single Sunday for the Inner Forward. And I just this year, at the beginning of this year, I moved the Inner Forward to Substack, and I restarted the process over. And I started from one where we just gotten through episode 26 of the Mystery School just yesterday. And so what the Mystery School is it's a breakdown of ancient symbols, ancient spiritual science, and mythology, the esoteric, metaphysics, through use of breaking down the symbology of tarot cards. And I say in every one of my readings, the ones that I do for individual people, which I've moved out of doing individual readings and more into education. I prefer that better. But in front of every reading that I do, I offer a 4-part disclaimer that lets people know that we're not reading anyone's minds. We're not predicting future events. We're not controlling or manipulating people or outcomes, and we're not conjuring up any energies or spirits, because that's not what the tarot was designed to do. The tarot was initially just a game. It was a game called the Mamluks that was based on the Mamluk dynasty, one of the 30 consecutive or over 30 consecutive dynasties in ancient Egypt. And so it was a card game that once the card game moved through Europe, got through Italy, got through France, they added the major arcana to it, and the major arcana was added, and it gave it some additional use, and it allowed us to look at the symbols that related to the cards, which are believed to be principles found in on the temple walls of the ancient being Hermes Trismegistus or Thoth, the Atlantean. And they offered prompts for us to be able to examine our soul, our own psyche, and our own subconscious mind, because spirit and emotion is what really programs the subconscious mind. And so tarots are a good tool to be able to use as prompts to understand situationships and relationships and entertainment and arts and politics and society and culture and a person's personal development, the whole thing, even parenting, even physical health. The whole thing, all the things. And that the Mystery School is $7 a month. You get 4 audios a month that include not only a full reading, and my readings average about an hour to 2 hours. You also get the book club audio, and right now we're reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, because the other goal with the tarot is to help us detoxify the personality. And instead of the ego being the ego's bitch, we're learning how to make the ego our bitch. You understand? Excuse my language, but that's how I talk. So check it out. If you're interested in learning more, I've got I'm telling everybody this month. A month ago, I did one of the Inner Forward Mystery School readings, was the straight up Michael Jackson reading. So if you go on over to Substack, you can listen to one of those readings for free before you decide to join, which, I'm hoping you join, because it's a lot of fun. But that Michael Jackson reading was a good one. We broke him all the way down. And then it was almost like he jumped in there and told us some stuff, like we were channeling him. It was deep, deep. So check that out if this is for you. If it's not for you, I don't need your comments. I don't need your critiques. Just go on to what's for you, because I'm not gonna care anyway. Like, you're commenting about, oh, this is, the terrors of the devil and all that nonsense. I'm not thinking about that, because I know what it is. You don't. I'm the practitioner. You're not. So, giving me those comments is just a waste of time. I only say that to say, just don't waste your time. For everyone who it's for, check me out. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you continue to tap into the Purple A Society. I'll be putting out some great music playlists here in the next couple of weeks. Or actually this week I got some coming, and I'm going to put out another lecture playlist on something that can help us develop our understanding of the spiritual sciences, or just science, health, nature, whatever we're working on. So check me out. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.